Good morning. Thanks for joining us here on WFSB Plus. I'm Tracey McCain.
I'm First Alert Meteorologist Jill Gilardi.
And I'm going to lower this slightly.
Yes.
There we go. I checked your audio, but forgot to check mine.
You can't block your face.
I can't do that. All right. So we are in kind of like a calmer pattern in terms of like wind.
Yeah, today's calmer. It's not as cold, and we're just trending upwards from here on out through the end of the week.
All right.
So warmer
Trending
temperatures on the way. But we also have a system coming in with a little bit of a punch by Friday. So Friday's our next big thing. Friday's also our next First Alert weather day.
Okay. So let's talk about the next big thing.
Get to it. Yeah. So Friday in the morning especially, we're going to see some heavy rain moving in. That's going to interrupt travel. At the same time, with the heavy rain, there's going to be wind gusts over 40 miles per hour. So there could be obviously that risk for your vehicle, lose a little bit of control, especially on those east to west routes or I-84, things like that. High-profile vehicles will feel, of course, the rain, poor visibility, not going to be fun traveling. Friday morning, so the breakdown of things, it's early Friday, the heaviest rain. The rain quits midday. It's kind of briefly calmer, and then finally the backside of the front with the stronger winds set back in, but they're, a colder direction. So we have 2 rounds of strong wind gusts, 1 round of heavy rain. Yeah, and that will mark some change for the weekend. Nothing too extreme, not like the kind of Arctic blast we have been experiencing. But yeah, Friday morning, that's when the worst of the weather is going to be building on in before it moves on out. And we're talking about a quick shot of a burst of 1 inch, maybe slightly higher. So yeah, we'll have to watch out for ponding. So all in all, yeah, definitely had to, call for a First Alert weather day for that. But what else? We have an opportunity between after the heavy rain, before the actual colder air gets here, and the next round of wind, we have a chance to rise into the 50s and be close to a record.
Wow.
So 51 is probably going to feel like 70 to our body after
seriously.
a high of only 25 yesterday. Yesterday's high of 25 is what our normal low is.
Right.
Just a little perspective. So 33 today. All right. At least it's not windy. You know what I mean? 44 tomorrow. While it will be breezy, we'll still enjoy 44. 46, it's dry the next 3 days. The rain doesn't come in till 11 p.m. on Thursday. And then it is out of here before 1 o'clock on Friday. And then we deal with another round of wind by the evening hours. The weekend's not looking too bad, so if you're looking to get out and about, do some things, other than maybe an isolated shower Sunday, it's actually a little warmer, back above average, 44 degrees, and then trending a little bit cooler as we head into early next week. And just to show folks, shoreline highs, the warmest days will be Wednesday, 46, 54 Friday, and 46 on Sunday. So we're finally going to have a few more days in the red category above average. And we've literally had 1 day so far this month above average.
It's been so cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very little snow. I'm always like, snow if it's cold.
Right.
Okay, so
didn't
always happen.
I always, think about, exactly that. If it's this cold, it might as well snow.
Might as well. Let's distract us a little bit, though we don't want to have to drive through it.
Yeah.
But there's always that caveat there.
Yeah. Okay. So First Alert weather day. Next one is on Friday.
Yes.
Prepare for storms during the day, which is odd.
Well, morning.
And
it's rain. It may not be necessarily like thunder.
Okay.
I don't want to put storms.
Okay.
Thunder,
so heavy rain.
Heavy rain and wind.
Okay.
In the morning Friday.
That could be nasty.
Yeah, that's not fun.
Yeah. I'm thinking about, the people in Waterbury who are, without water right now and have been for a number of days. School's been out for, 2 days and not because of weather.
No.
Because of, water issues.
And I guess it was a gentleman interviewed yesterday and he hadn't showered since Friday. He wasn't even worried that wasn't his bigger deal. It was, other things that you get concerned about without water, but I just can't imagine. So definitely feeling for those folks.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's check in with Taylor Knight, who gets us up to date with how things are going and the repair process for that water main break in Waterbury.
Advisory remains in place this morning, and the city will be handing out water bottles at Municipal Stadium and Crosby High School. Officials say they're hoping to restore water service across the city today. Once that happens, though, many people will have brown or discolored water. If that happens to you, run cold water through your bathtub faucets to clear the pipes. The city will then be testing the water to make sure it's safe. Those results usually take about 24 hours to come back.
Right back here, WFSB Plus, the Waterbury City Hall just announced that the mayor is going to be doing another update on repairs, which hopefully will be complete by today. That update is expected to come at some point. They haven't exactly given us a time yet, but we'll, of course, stay on top of it. We'll bring you the latest on WFSB.com, and you can always look for it streaming here on WFSB Plus as well. You know, there are thousands of people who are without water right now, which is impacting people's showers, which is impacting, what you eat, what you cook, restaurants in the area, just life. So, trying to get things back to normal for folks is a priority. And of course, we'll keep you updated with everything that's next within the next couple of days. The latest update was, hopefully, by today, water would be running in faucets again. All right, want to get you updated with some developing news from Providence, Rhode Island. Brown University still looking for the suspect to open fire on a classroom right during final exams on Saturday. It's just terrible here. And they're now releasing this new video showing a new person of interest in the case. The person wearing dark coat, a mask, a hat, kind of walking around the university, as you can see. Police believe it's the same person from a previous video that was released. Remember, just this week, a person of interest who had been detained was released late Sunday because officials said they had no reason to keep them in custody. But here's a good look at the suspect right now. A mask, a hat, clearly dark clothing. You can make out some eyes there, the body build, but not really much else. Police are really asking for anybody who may have information on this person to let them know as soon as possible. They don't believe the university is at risk at this point. Students have been sent home, exams have been canceled, and again, that suspect is on the loose. So we'll keep you updated right here on WFSB Plus as new developments come in. Certainly a frightening situation the last few days for people at Brown University. Our hearts really going out to them. All right, here locally, another big story that we're on top of, the case of the 11-year-old girl who tragically was killed last year, but her body wasn't uncovered by police until this year. So this is the case of Jacqueline Torres Garcia, and affectionately nicknamed Mimi. Well, she, unfortunately has passed away, and her mother and the mother's former boyfriend are now facing charges along with the girl's aunt. Jonathan Nanita is expected in court today, and we have an update from our Sierra Jordan about what we can expect from him when he heads back to court.
Good morning. Jonathan Nanita's attorney is expected to give an answer today on whether or not to waive a probable cause hearing, and we are still waiting for Nanita to enter a plea. Jonathan Nanita, Jacqueline's mother, Carla Garcia, and Jacqueline's aunt are all charged in connection with the 11-year-old's death. Police say Jacqueline was killed inside their Farmington home in the fall of 2024, and her body was dumped behind an abandoned home in New Britain nearly a year later. Last month, the girl's mother and aunt both pleaded not guilty, and her mother waived her right to a probable cause hearing to decide if there's enough evidence to justify the charge of murder with special circumstance. We spoke to a criminal justice expert at the University of New Haven about this case last time he was in court. They told us that Nanita also chooses to waive that right today as well. It can be seen as a legal strategy. It would suggest the lawyer does not believe they can convince the court to drop a severe charge like this. We'll continue to follow today's court hearing and bring you any new developments as soon as they happen. Your reporter in Torrington, Sierra Jordan, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, we will keep you updated on that case. And of course, still waiting for a plea, whether he is pleading guilty or not guilty in this case. Did you guys have problems accessing the Health ACT's website, Health CT website yesterday? A lot of people did, and they called us about it, wondering what's going on. We can't access this health care that we need to be covered by January 1st. The deadline was, of course, Monday, December 15th. And so a lot of people panicked, but there has been a resolution here. So take a good listen to this. If you get health insurance through the Affordable Care Act, or here in Connecticut, that is Access Health CT, if you had trouble signing up, you will still be able to get coverage through Access Health CT starting January 1st. There were some troubles with the website. People had a hard time getting through. They were working now to fix issues with their website and the applications. So if you left a message wondering what's going on and it was before midnight, Access Health CT will get back to you, and your coverage will start to kick in at the start of the new year, as if you had signed up by the deadline. So the key here is that you would have had to leave a message before midnight in order to get a call back and then register for that health care to start January 1st. So we will keep you updated with that story as well. Because people called here really concerned. Obviously, this affects them and their health coverage for the following year. So we worked to get you some answers, and that is the answer that Access Health CT provided. All right, you guys ready for some good news here? I love talking about this. This is UConn men's basketball. They're looking so good this year, wouldn't you agree? I mean, just everything is clicking on all cylinders. The defense, the offense, Coach Hurley seems to be pleased. They're just really dominating on the courts right now. They're still number 5 in this week's AP Top 25 poll, which I think is wrong, but that's just one Husky alumni's point of view, and super fan, I should add that. But the UConn men's basketball team back in action tonight, taking on Butler. This is their first Big East game of the season. It's a late one, and if you go to bed early like me, you're going to have to either stay up late or watch the highlights tomorrow morning on WFSB Eyewitness News. Tip-off isn't until tonight at 8:30, but it is at People's Bank Arena in Hartford, and I am just really excited to see how this team starts to really just take on conference play and make sure that we are in it to win it. All right, so want to make sure that you know about this. This is our pregame show with Aaron Connolly and Joe Zone. They will be getting you up to date with everything you need to know before the Huskies take the court. I should drop this super, sorry. There we go. Now you can see all the places where you can watch this pregame show. On the Wax, WFSB Plus, that's where you're watching us right now, or on WFSB.com. Most of you have Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, if you're streaming with us right now. But Aaron and Joe will get you up to date with everything that you need to know ahead of tonight's game, that pregame show starting at 8 o'clock tonight. We look forward to seeing you there. Always, good to hear Aaron and Joe give us their expert analysis of how things are looking on the court. They also have some great stories lined up for you. I think Andrea Hurley is going to be featured on tonight's show. So, anytime you get the coach's wife to spill some beans, it's going to be a good show. All right, everybody, I think I got you up to date. We're getting ready for a great day at 9A coming up in the next 10 minutes or so. Stay here on streaming, WFSB Plus. We've got you covered right here. And I will join you again tomorrow after Eyewitness News this morning, which starts 4:30, goes all the way until, 8 o'clock on streaming, WFSB Plus. All right, guys, have a great day. We'll see you next time.